So today we're going to break down this beautiful rig. Let's get into it. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing amazing. Hope you're having an amazing week. Today, like I said, we're covering this beautiful rig and how I built it out and what I have on here. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. It helps me out a ton. I'm trying to make more videos for you guys like this, educational kind of gear breakdown. That once I hit 500 subs, I'm gonna do a giveaway. So you won't miss that. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything. But anyway, jumping into it, today we're going to cover and break down my video rig. This is my camera rig I use for video, and kind of all the pieces I put together to help me film better, to give me like better capabilities with filming, and just to make life easier in general. It's always fun when you have a good rig and you feel pretty good when you're carrying it around. You look professional, but also everything on this is put on here for a reason and helps me as a videographer shoot better and have a lot of fun doing it. Alright, anyway, I'm going to take this thing apart and gonna go over piece by piece what is built into this rig. So give me a moment. Alright, lots of pieces to this puzzle. So at the base of the rig is the Canon R5C. Beautiful camera, absolutely love it. I've had it for I think about a month now, and boy oh boy, it's phenomenal. I've shot with this before for some other gigs. Have had the opportunity to play around with it, so I was familiar with it when I bought it. But it's a fantastic camera. My only downside to this, which I hope Canon comes through with, is add C-Log 2 to this camera. I feel like the capabilities of C-Log 2, if it's put on this camera, would just be astronomical. I mean, I've shot with the C74. The C-Log 2 is just phenomenal when it comes to color grading and just afterwards really playing with it. It looks amazing. But anyway, what I shoot in mainly on this camera is 4K 24 10-bit 422 color, and it just turns out amazing. I'll throw some footage up here of some videos I've shot with it and kind of clips you can kind of see of the footage that this takes, and it's just phenomenal. It looks amazing. It's compact. It's got the air vents. Hallelujah. We're not going to have any overheating with this baby, so that's good. But anyway, getting into the rig, I'll put it together piece by piece so you get to see the build out. But at the core, like I said, Canon R5C. This lens I have on here right now, it's not what I always have on. I'm filming on the Sigma 2470. That's usually what's on here because I can play around, zoom in. But this is the Sigma 50 millimeter 1.4. So I have that on here right now, but we'll start building this out, and I'll show you kind of each piece as we go along, talk through it, and show you why it's on here. Anyway, getting into it. So first and foremost, I always have a cage on the camera. It makes life so much easier. I can attach so many things onto this. I find too it actually protects the camera a little bit. It has, like, if you're hitting up against something, it's gonna hit the cage before it hits the camera. It gives it a bit more protection, and you have all these screw points. You can attach just a ton. So, and I love attaching things to my camera. So definitely makes life fun for me, and yeah, keeps it interesting because I'm always at like, what can I add to this camera? Because it's always fun. But yeah, essential to any camera rig is a cage. So yeah. That's the one I have. I have the small rig cage built for the R5, R6, and R5C. So this is a great one. Also, I have a little addition small rig cold shoe mount. So also, I'm going to link down below a kit to everything I have on this table. It's going to be in this kit. So you can go down in the description, hit the link, and you'll be able to see everything I have here in my kit. So go check that out, and hopefully you can see in better detail each piece that I have on the table here. Anyway, so the second thing I always have on my camera, which is essential, I feel like, to anyone who's filming, is a top handle. These are phenomenal. They help so much with getting unique angles and also saving your arms. These are incredible because whenever you hold a camera, if you're filming, if it's like this, you always seem to wear out your, your right bicep, or if you're left-handed, you always seem to wear out your shoulder and bicep. Whereas if you hold it by the top, you can really brace it into your body. You can still stabilize it with your hand. And that's how I usually film sometimes. And also, if you want to get low shots, you can always hold it, down here and kind of run along the ground. Another point of contact is just very essential to filming. So that is something I always keep on the rig at all times. So the third thing I like to have is a external monitor mount. Now this one's fantastic. I love this one because this is the screw-on one to this handle. So make sure whenever you buy, if you're gonna buy external monitor, you can either get mounts that go onto the cold shoe mount on the handle, or get ones that screw onto the front. I love the ones that screw on the front, because instead of the monitor sticking straight up, which is very awkward when you're filming. It's really strange because it's like you can only tilt it so much. This one sticks out at a 45, so I can mount the monitor here. Almost lay it flat too when I don't have the matte box on. We'll get to that when we get to that point. But it comes out at a 45, and so I can be filming down here and have the monitor tilted. And even when I'm filming up, I can still tilt the monitor up, but it's still out of the way. It gives me a smaller profile. And so this is a very important thing if you're doing any kind of external monitor, is to have that mount that mounts at the 45, mounts at the angle at the front of the handle. So keep that in mind if you're looking for an external monitor mount. You want this kind of setup. It makes life so much easier. All right, moving on to this side. I love side handles. They give a much better grip and handhold whenever you're filming. You can always grab onto this, and it kind of gives you extra stability. They just make life fun and easy. Anyway, but I mount this on the side next to all the plug-in imports, and I like on this side because I usually have my hand on this side right next to the record button and all the dials, and so I mount this on the opposite side so I can have a better handhold whenever I'm filming. Alright, so that's mounted on there. And also, you probably can see I have little anchor points for my Peak Design neck, what do you call it, camera strap. And I usually like to run with that. That way you can always, I'm not wearing my arms out. I have it around my neck. If I'm going handheld, that is. I can have it around my neck, and it's taking a lot of the load off my arms and shoulders and back, so I can still film for longer and won't get burned out as easily. Anyway, now the next piece is a bit more extreme, a little bit. I really do love the setup with the rods and rails. This is the small rig rod and rail system, and I believe these are the 12-inch rods. And yeah, they're phenomenal. Aluminum. I probably could get carbon fiber, but these are pretty inexpensive. But these are great because I can mount a lot of other things once we get down the line. All right, so I got the rails attached, and this is where it gets fun. So the other thing I have for the rail attachment is V-mount battery. Now, the reason I went with an external battery source is because this R5C is horrible when it comes to filming with the LP6 batteries. It is absolutely dreadful. I tried filming with the LP6 LP batteries at first, and I would get like 10 minutes of film time, and it's just horrendous. So I had to make the sacrifice and go with a bigger rig, but with the V-mount batteries, and these are phenomenal. I didn't think I would like them as much because they're a bit bulky, but these are amazing. It just makes life so much easier with a lot more battery. I get about 5 hours with these batteries, and also these batteries are the Fixlon Nano 1 batteries. Like I said, I have them all linked in down below for you guys to check them out. So if you're curious about which ones I'm using, you go click that link. But this is the small rig V-mount mount. It doesn't have any electronics. This is just like the bare metal one, so makes life easy. Mounts the rods. You just slip it right on the battery right on here, and that will give me so much more filming time, which is phenomenal. And what I have to bring power directly to the camera, it's this Kingma dummy battery to USB-C, and I found this one to make the most sense. I do have an option to run USB-C from the battery to USB-C in the camera, and it's a cool idea, but I was always worried about breaking that USB-C port on the camera, because it's kind of where your hands are always going on the side, right in this side, and I feel like I'd break it off. And so I decided to just get the dummy battery, and I just slip this in right here, and use the cable port out, close that up, and I run this around the rods right here, and then I just plug it in up top, and then I have tons of battery, tons of battery life built into this rig, and I can just go for hours now shooting with this thing. So next accessory, which I love, absolutely love using this, makes life so much easier, is an external monitor. This is the Atomos Shinobi. It works for me. People have always asked me, like, why didn't you get the Ninja? And biggest thing was just like money. It costs a lot more. This one I think is about just about $300, I believe. But it's just got everything I need. You know, I don't need the external recording or all those other features. I just need a good quality screen to see what I'm filming. So that's what this provides, and that's what I got. So I highly recommend this monitor. It's phenomenal. It's great colors and makes life a lot easier. It has peaking on it too, which is really nice for for manual focus. So highly recommend one of those. And I also get the HDMI to mini HDMI, thank you Canon, to the R5C, and I get perfect transmission of video to that monitor, which is awesome. Anyway, moving on. This is one of the biggest things I was excited about. This is the SmallRig mini follow focus system, and I love this thing. I really do love this thing. It's kind of one of the things that really makes me happy whenever I use it, especially with video work. You do a lot of manual focus, and you'd be surprised, you can say, oh, just do autofocus. It's like, it's great, but when you really want to nail these unique shots, you have to do manual focus. And to reach around underneath and pull focus on the lens, it's really annoying, and I always seem like to miss it or miss a key moment. And so I was really looking into trying to find a follow focus system, but I found all these ones I could find were expensive and motorized. I didn't need something that fancy or that expensive. So when I came across this one, I was very pleasantly surprised, because it's small, lightweight, and works with any lens, and it's a great price point. I think it's like $100, which is not bad for follow focus system. So this just mounts right onto the rods, and first I have to put this on. This is the attachment it comes with. It has all these little teeth for the follow focus system to grab onto. So first you want to put that on the lens, and then you just kind of lean that into the lens, and now I'm not sure if you can see that, but it is turning that focus system, which is phenomenal. Just makes life so much easier. So I'll show you here with this follow focus system. It's really cool. I can push the battery into my chest, put this handle right under my wrist, and then I can move the follow focus with my fingers right here, and it gives me 1, 2, and then it points to contact. And then when I have the camera strap on, I have it around my neck, and it's giving me another third point of contact up here. So I'm pulling and pushing, and then I have my wrist locked under here, and it's rock solid filming this way. And so that's really nice when I'm focusing. I can just be so rock solid. You don't even have to move around. Don't get a lot of camera shake, and it's just so smooth. It's beautiful. All right, getting close to a few things done. I'll cover this one first. This is my favorite shotgun mic. I love for the setup because it's very small. This is the Deity D4 Mini shotgun microphone. Phenomenal. But plugs into audio port. Put that back in. And as you can see, this footprint's so small. I don't even interfere with it at any point. Usually I'll pull this HDMI cable up around it, so it's out of the way. Boom. And very small footprint. Don't even notice the mic is there at all. And love that for audio. And if I ever am running lav mic audio, I'll attach it right up here on the handle for the receiver. I use the DJI mics. Let me grab them real quick. Alright. So I use the DJI mics and I have the receiver, and it fits perfectly right on top with this handle. And I have the audio out, and it's a perfect distance between the mic and the handle, so that's a great spot for it. I can always see my audio levels if I'm filming because it's right beneath my screen, so I have a great viewpoint for that. And yeah, very small footprint. Like I said, I like kind of minimalism. I know it's kind of funny coming from a guy who just built out a big camera rig, but I do love minimalism with big things. Anyway. And the final piece of this rig set is this matte box. Now, first of all, matte box just looks cool. I'll just say that. It makes it look a lot more professional because you can just raise that up and make it look cool. But one of the reasons too I got this is also the small rig matte box. A lot more expensive than the Polar Pro ones, which I really want to get. Those look so cool. But this is a simple matte box. I love it because I just have instant protection. You know, I have the capability to raise the barn door and, you know, block a flare. But also, if instead of putting a cap on, I've always wanted to be like ready to film, because I have my usually have my ND filter on here on the front of the camera. So I have that mounted. It has, you know, a screw ring in here so you can attach your ND filter on the inside, so you're good to go. But instead of putting a lens cap on each and every time, I've really found I love just closing this and then just like half a turn, and that's locked down, and it keeps anything like any rocks, any dirt, if I'm hitting this if I'm hitting the lens, if I'm walking through a lot of brush or anything. I do a lot of outdoor filmmaking, so most dealing with that. I don't want anything hitting the front of the lens, so anything that hits this is going to protect the lens instantly. Nothing's going to get inside and scratch the glass. And when I'm ready to film, I just come up, half turn, lock it, and then I'm good to go. And I can, you know, block flares with this, and it just works phenomenally. So that's the whole camera setup. I love it so much. I have a lot of fun filming with this thing. It just makes life easy, and I think it may not be perfect, but the balance point, it's a little off, but I have it like perfectly balanced in the middle. So I'm not dealing with, you know, something wanted to point down always or pull back up. I always have it. If I'm holding it on the top handle, it's like perfectly level, and I just have, you know, very easy filming. But yeah, that is the camera rig. And like I said before, link is in the description. If you want to see all the pieces to this rig and maybe buy them yourself, go check that out. But thanks y'all for watching. This is really fun breaking this down, and hope you all enjoyed it. I really love it. It's a really cool rig. But yeah, I'd love to hear about what your camera rigs are, what you're filming with. So leave a comment down in the comment section of what your camera setup is and what your rig is, and whether you film with the rig or you just film with just the body and a lens. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this, you know, what you film with and what your setup's like. So leave a comment. Love to hear from you guys. I really love doing these breakdowns and doing these videos for you guys. So, you know, thanks all for the support, and I'll catch you next time.